Hey everybody, welcome back to ReEngage. My name is Brock, and thank you guys for being here. And so I'm joined tonight by my former neighbors. They lived right behind me. And so I've known these guys for years. And so one of the things that's been a part of their marital journey is getting healthy financially. And so I wanted them to come talk to us about that because I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not, but couples have fights over finances. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, we do a lot of kind of counseling with couples at church,
Yeah.
and that's one of the main issue that we always talk about.
Major issue, major issue. And so I know for my wife and I, until we'll get to this in a little bit, but until we did some financial coursework, it was a major source of contention in our relationship. And so once we did that, it seemed like we actually had some peace in our lives when it comes to finances. But to start off, I'd love to just hear your story about why finances became a healthy part of your marriage relationship.
So we are not originally from here. We are originally from Malaysia, and we came here as 20-year-olds, and we met at the University of Oklahoma. We dated for a few years before we got married, and that was how our life started here in America.
And we didn't come to Christ until we're in our late 30s.
Okay.
Well, me, early 30s, she's, kind of like the 30s.
Was that about the time that you met me? Because I was such a shining example. Is that?
Yes, you
Okay, I just
had that.
I wanted to feel.
You had that halo that we were
Yeah.
curious to see what it was.
It's called being bald. That's not a halo of righteousness. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but we didn't come to Christ until our early 30s. And one thing, when we learn about Christ, what it means to walk with Christ, it means everything in our lives. Relationships, our attitudes, our, choice of words, our just pretty much everything. And finances is one of those that is part of our lives. So we actually decided, she found this crazy yelling guy on the radio named Dave Ramsey that has a talk show, and that's where it got us started to looking into, what is finances according to the Bible.
Right.
And it's a great journey for us because as a young Christian couple at the time, we were hungry for just learning about Christ. And it's such amazing revelation to know that there's this whole chapter in Proverbs that talks about money. It talks about how you should behave, and then it goes on to relationship, and it kind of brought us closer when we understood what it really meant. And for us, we decided that, hey, you know what, we're going to get on this journey and see what else is there. And we've been debt free for the last 12. I don't remember how long, 12 years maybe. Been such a long time, it's a blur. But it's great that we don't have any arguments over finances, and that's one piece of our lives that we can pretty much say that we don't have any contention.
Which is for a lot of couples, a major piece you guys have eliminated, because you've got on the same page and you're moving in the same direction. And I remember when we were neighbors, it was very frustrating because I knew that you guys were on this journey to become debt free. And so Mike would yell at me when I'd come home, like, "Hey, I just saw a new fence put up. Did you pay cash for that?"
I saw a new car.
He saw a new car once
in the driveway.
I did not pay cash for that, but anyway. So you guys, you don't owe money on anything at all?
No.
So it took us 7 years to pay off $450,000. That's like mortgages,
cars,
yeah.
just stupid things that we bought in the past, like a timeshare.
Yeah. And so, but you're still financing Mike's hair care products, right? Is that still, that's still part of the journey a little bit?
Well, he was just telling me in the car here how much his haircut now costs.
Oh, so maybe
we have to rearrange our budget.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So, but now, since you guys have been on that journey, and you have really kind of been on a journey to help other couples with that as well. So what are you guys doing now kind of at Hope that maybe couples here could say, hey, we want to make sure this area of finance is a little bit better for us? What could they do here at Hope Fellowship to get better at that journey that you guys are kind of a part of?
So we teach 2 different kinds of financial classes here at Hope. The first one is the Budget Workshop and Financial Peace University by Dave Ramsey. So the FPU is taught in 9 weeks, and we lead the class, and it's all over the 3 campuses that we have. And then the budget workshop is really more focused towards how to create the budget, how to follow the budget. So what we've heard a lot is that creating the budget is not the difficult thing. It's following the budget. That's the most challenging thing. So
That's a discipline.
Yep. So we created this 4 or 5 week class to kind of focus and dive seriously just into the budget alone.
Okay.
And a lot of times when we sit down with couples to go over that, something else will be revealed. Like, maybe the spouse was brought up a different way, seeing money than the husband. And that's why there's that miscommunication about money. The wife may not have the saving habit, but the husband may be saving too much where it's kind of tightwad.
Right.
And then that will cause contentions, when it comes to about spending. And a lot of times, we sit down, we talk about money, and it turns out to be something else. So for ReEngage for people that is at ReEngage to go through this, it's great that they work on themselves, but they also need to come together and work as a couple when it comes to finances.
Yeah.
Because the Bible says we come, when we get married, we join as one. So everything needs to be as one. Finances is one of those that it's very hard because a lot of couples will have, his money, my money, her money, his money, and I pay for this and he pays for that. No, it's really that what we collectively have and we collectively pay.
Okay.
And that's how we can get that we being as one instead of, I, me, mine, hers kind of thing.
Yeah, because that's a big deal at ReEngage, is talking about oneness in our relationship with Christ, oneness as a couple. But you're saying that oneness extends as a couple, like the area of finances is a big indicator of that oneness. That should be an area where we work on together.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. And also, I know that we have a lot of blended family as well, and that's when it becomes really, really tricky on finances, on how to manage that finances, because you have the core family and then you have I don't know if you call that the outside family, and that's when you can have a lot of disagreement on how this family should spend finances on the child,
Or
on
who
activities.
pays for what
yeah.
and
Yeah.
things like
Yeah,
that.
it gets really tricky because I know even for my wife and I for a long time that she had her family of origin obviously and I had mine, and we were raised with how money should be dealt with. And so when you're kind of coming to this relationship, you don't even realize you can't even speak about it because you don't know. This is just how we deal with money. And so the thing I loved about Financial Peace University for us is that it brought us together on the same page. Like we became one now because like we took the good and the bad of our families of origin and kind of created this new system for us to deal with money. So it was really, really helpful for us. And that was just, it actually, I didn't understand why it was called Financial Peace University until we took it and then realized, oh, now I know why, because we have peace.
Peace after
Correct.
that,
Peace in our
yeah.
home with finances.
Yes.
So as you guys have worked with a lot of couples and do this, and I know you guys have done a lot to help tons of couples at Hope Fellowship, but through that, you've kind of probably picked up some marital advice as you work with couples. Would you guys mind sharing some of that with us here a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. So when we talk about finances as one, we actually talk about the literal finances as one. So don't operate on two separate checking accounts. Don't operate on two savings accounts. Create a one checking account that you'll pay bills and receive money as one. That would be a good start because
Okay.
a lot of people don't know how to do that.
Right.
And a lot of times it's because you want to be transparent. When you have my account, hers account, sometimes you could be thinking, okay, what else is she spending on
It can
that I
create a
don't know?
little mystery,
Right,
maybe a little.
right.
Yeah.
And so, we always advise people to say, hey, come together as one, where you have one checking account. Now you can have multiple accounts as long as both of you guys are in it and you know what's going in and what's going out. That's very important.
So
'cause-
nothing hidden, basically,
yeah,
is kind of what
right,
you're saying.
right. So
Yeah.
it's like don't hide anything. Sit down, lay out on the table. What are we spending on? And agree on it. And we're both adults, so we can both agree to disagree, or we can both plan to see what needs to be spent when, kind of thing. So that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Is being transparent with one another.
Okay.
And also in FPU, we talk about a budget committee meeting, right? So both spouses come together and plan ahead. And we typically plan for the month ahead of time. So like if now is July, we're going to start talking about August and okay, so August, kids go back to school. So kids might need new shoes, new clothes and stuff. So all of these things should not be a surprise, so to
You
speak.
plan for it. It's not
Correct.
like, oh, I forgot about
Correct.
shoes. Yeah.
Correct. So the budget, we're gonna go ahead and start writing them down, or some people prefer to do it digitally, but the budget is what helps the meeting, and communicate effectively. And there's no surprises. And during the month, if there was an
Some
expense that
emergency,
pops up,
yeah.
like a car trouble or whatever, something you didn't plan for, then you need to come back together and talk about, okay, now that we have to spend $400 on tires, then where are we
Where-
going to get the money from? So
How do
we
you
both-
rearrange,
Right.
you know,
The
our
budget.
budget?
So it's all about clear communication
Yeah,
and about
absolutely.
finances.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Okay.
in our budget workshop, we actually, you know, kind of take a step ahead and kind of challenge them to think about even a year ahead.
Yeah.
Like when we first started, you know, we didn't figure kids needing more food in the summer because they're home.
Right, exactly.
So, you know, the
Yeah.
food bill goes up, or the AC bill goes up because they're home all the time. Lower the AC. You know, little things like that people don't think about that will kind of, you know,
Mess with your budget.
mess with your budget, and then mess with your feelings,
Yeah.
mess with your relationship.
And the thing that I really liked about it too is he had, Dave Ramsey in Financial Peace has the baby steps. And so it gives you a target. And so like, I didn't know where to go financially. I was just like, what do I do? And so now all of a sudden, oh, here's the path I can walk down. And all of a sudden that was nice because now I wasn't just guessing and
What you
getting
need to
upset
do.
because I thought this was real. No, we had a clear goal together. So that was huge. So
And that's the other thing is, you know, the couples need to come together and kind of work together, dream together, and say, hey, you know, where do you want to be 5 years down the road? You know, financially, relationship, you know, like, and we dream about going to Bora Bora on my 50th birthday, which you know is coming up. Not
that sounds
too,
a little boring.
yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah,
be
it's
pretty
gonna be
boring.
pretty boring
Yeah,
sitting with, you know, out in the blue ocean.
yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
I'll take a picture for you.
Thank you.
You don't have
Yeah.
to go with
I'm
us.
sure you'll send it my way. So.
But it's just that being together and dream together. And when you dream together, it's kind of like, yeah, it's, you know, we want to work together to achieve that.
Yeah.
And so that baby step does help in a sense where it kind of tells you what to do. And a lot of times, like I said, everybody's just so busy and there's nothing laid out to be on the same page. So that helps with the baby step to help to kind of plan for that.
Right.
Most important thing, and she always talks about this, is to dream together. You know, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? When the kids go off to college, when they have their own life, what are we going to do? You know, and
So you're planning for the future, saying we are going to have a future
Yeah.
Yes.
together,
Yes.
which is huge.
Yes.
Exactly.
And then once we plan those monthly budgets, we're gonna shake on it and agree. So nobody's gonna go out and buy some surprise shoes or
Or a bass boat.
Yeah, or a surprise
Or car,
gun.
or fence, or whatever you
Yeah,
guys yelled at me about.
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
That's
So-
awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. And again, I appreciate everything you guys have done. And the nice thing is that you guys are available, and there's other people available here
Yeah.
at the church
Absolutely.
to help people.
Absolutely.
You want to be on the
Absolutely.
journey because you want to help marriages in this aspect, and
Yes.
it is such a big deal. And
Yes.
so,
Yes.
I mean, my biggest encouragement for all of us is like, as many of these areas that we can get some peace in. Let's
Right.
just do the
Yeah.
work, and it's a very possible this.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
thank you
Yes,
guys for
it is.
everything.
Right.
So,
And I also want to add this little thing here. Since our church mission is to help people move towards the center of their purpose of their life, I don't want this to be taken the wrong way, but debt can hold a lot of
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
where they're
Yeah.
at and not be able to move towards the center of God's
will for
purpose
them,
for their
yeah.
life. So
Yeah.
taking care of finances is definitely one of the things that we all need to consider as we move towards God's purpose.
very good. Very good. So thank you guys for being here tonight, and congratulations to you that you don't have financial experts living behind you yelling at you. And I wish you the best on the journey. Thank you guys for everything.
Thank you.